Clara's going to be going out of town soon, and she's getting some hot cocoa ready for her quilting group. They'll be stopping by to help pack a couple of tins for Hazel and Theodore before she leaves. Let me show you how I made these adorable little cocoa mugs from paper using this pattern. There are two sizes of patterns. I will be showing you the tall one. First, I cut out pieces 1 and 2 and glued the ends together to form one long strip. It's okay if the edges are a little off like mine were here. It still works. I rolled it onto the quilling tool and left it on the tool. Then I glued piece 3 right over that, keeping one end lined up flat with the bottom of the cup. I rolled it over piece 1 and 2, being careful not to crush the top lip of the cup. This part will be the hot cocoa. Next, I marked the left side of piece 4 and glued it on, keeping that marked edge even with the bottom. This helps start the flared out bottom. Then I rolled piece 5 on near the bottom. As it builds up, it slowly tapers in and forms that curved bottom shape. Here's how the two sizes look together. I doubled this little strip of paper so it's sturdier for the handle to be cut from. This small triangle piece is the shape of the handle. I glued the top of the handle in place first, right near the rim. Once that was dry, I folded it over to make the loop and glued the bottom in place to form the handle. Once the mugs are made and the handles are glued in place, I base coated the mug with wood glue, then painted it as desired, and added the hot cocoa color on top. Now the fun part, decorating them. On this one, I painted a tiny snowflake using a thin piece of wire for the thin lines. For the next one, I glued on a little peppermint candy piece that I made from paper. And on this one, I painted a simple Christmas tree. You can decorate yours however you like, or leave them plain. Next, I mixed up some whipped topping. I wrapped a bit of thin wire with paper and added a red stripe and cut and bent that into tiny candy cane shapes. Now to add the whipped topping. It does shrink down a bit as it dries, so keep that in mind when you're adding it. I added a candy cane right into it here and then sprinkled on some sand for the sprinkles. I also made a few little fake marshmallows instead of whipped topping. These hot cocos turned out so festive. I made these tins using the same method as my hatbox tutorial. So I'll link that video in the description if you want to see how the bases were made. Since they're made of thin paper, I glued cardstock to the outside to strengthen them. Just don't add cardstock where the lid overlaps, or it might not fit properly anymore. I'm decorating them here, adding crochet thread around the edges for detail. I gave them a thin coat of wood glue, then I painted the inside with a chrome marker. I'm painting the whole tin and then gluing a picture on top like those vintage tins usually have. The picture on top is Theodore's truck. I added it to the free download if you like to use it. Then I painted it with diamond glaze to give it that shiny tin look. You can use whatever you have on hand to shine yours up too. It looks like the quilting group is starting to show up now for the little holiday get-together and to help pack the tins. Each one has brought a special treat to share with everyone and to tuck a few into the tins. Everything looks so yummy. Clara is laying out the cups of hot cocoa now since it looks like everyone is here. That way they can sip on their cocoa and enjoy some of these tasty treats while packing up the tins. I'm just playing around with the arrangement until everything fits nicely. The treats are homemade and simple, making each tin feel thoughtful and full of love. The larger tin is for Hazel. She spends most of the year feeding everyone else in Maple Valley, so this time she gets to open a box full of things made just for her. The smaller tin is for the caretaker up in Copper Canyon. With everything tucked inside, I'm setting the last tin down and slipping a candy cane under the tie. And here they are by Aunt Clara's front door, looking so sweet and festive, waiting to be delivered. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.